Hi everybody, I'm Kate. I'll be bringing you this 1 hour free community online yoga class. Originally this class was supposed to be scheduled for tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. over at Elements Yoga Studio in Wollongabba. I'm a member of Elements Studio and I just completed my 200-hour yoga instructor training with them. And as a way to say thank you to Elements and to our beautiful community and all you out there, we're doing free community classes, so stay tuned to the Elements Insta page and Facebook group as well. But tonight, we're all in COVID lockdown, so I'm going to be doing this class from home with my amazing partner Jen and our amazing helper Schmidt, the cat. Very important that he is here supervising. So anyway, tonight let's get started. This class is going to be focusing on our hips and legs and lower back opening. So if you're like me and you sit at a desk all week, this is super important and feels amazing. So all you're going to need for this class tonight, anything that's really going to make you comfortable. So we're talking blocks. In this house, unfortunately, we only have 3 blocks. So Jen's going to be using 2 blocks for the session today. I'm going to be doing my examples today with 2 cans of baby corn that I just got out of the cupboard. They're stir fry or yoga friendly. So they are going to be my blocks today. And anything else that might make you comfortable, bolster, cushions, anything that's going to help out. You know your body so much better than me. Remember, only do what you feel comfortable with, and you know your body and your limits, and any injuries or anything you may have, you know that way better than anyone else's. Listen to your own body. So to get started today, let's get into it. I want you to start by sitting on your mat, and then we're going to go back and lie on your back, and we're going to butterfly the knees out. Take the blocks and put them underneath the knees on either side, just like Jen has done now. I'm not going to use my cans, they won't reach. And so I just want you to butterfly the knees out. Goal is to get our lower back as close to the ground as possible. Arms wherever you feel most comfortable. They might be down by your sides. Palms up if you're feeling like you're ready to take in the energy of the room around you. Or if you need to be a little grounded today, palms down. You might want to cactus the arms. That might make you feel more comfortable. Wherever's going to be best for you, maybe on your thighs or on the ground. Now, I want you to just start really deepening the breath. Drop into the body. It's been a bit of a stressful week for everyone. Now, I want us to take a nice deep inhale in for 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to just continue some deep rounds of belly breathing. So if you wanted to check your breathing, make sure you're doing a belly breath. What I mean is I put a hand on your belly just under your rib cage, and I want to make sure when you're taking a deep inhale that hand is rising. Like a balloon in the belly, and then exhale, and you should feel the hand dropping down again. Now, I want you to continue with your breathing, and I'd like to now set the intention for our session today. Now, today, we allow our bodies to open, our mind to quiet down for just this hour. This is the time we permit ourselves to stop. Thank our bodies for all it allows us to do every day, every minute, always supporting us. So now we take this time to stop, breathe, thank and honor our body. And I want you to silently say to yourself, thank you, body. You can now open. I release the tension that may have built up in the body over days, weeks, or maybe even years. I choose now to open and release. Now, bringing the knees together from our butterfly position, bring them up and gently come back to a seated position. You may want to rock and roll up until we get to a seated position. Now I want us to come over on the hands and knees and gently stretch out and come back to a standing position. Now, make sure that I don't lose my beautiful little mic. Starting in Tadasana, let's build this position from the ground up. I want us to think about our feet like roots of a tree, grounding through all four corners of your feet, legs about hip width apart. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Now, shutting down the eyes, take a moment and just rock a little bit on your legs and feel where your balance is today. Sometimes we're going to find that we're a little lopsided. That is totally fine. Every day it's a little bit different. Just rocking side to side, front to back, maybe making a little bit of a circle, feeling through the feet and using your toes, heels, and every little bit of skin on the bottom of your feet to ground down into your mat. Beautiful. Now, stretching through the fingers like the branches of your tree. On the inhale, rising arms to the sky, tall mountain pose. Breathe in, exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. On the next inhale, halfway lift, flat back, using our core to support us. Exhale, hands to the mat as we step our right foot down the mat, dropping the right foot to the ground. Now I want you to grab your blocks or your cans of baby corn. Now I want us to start releasing through the hip flexor of our right leg. Now I don't want us dumping through the back, so make sure we tilt the pelvis under, supported through there. None of this duck butt, none of that. So pulling up through here, this is active, not passive. If I was passive right now, I'd just be dropping in and hanging out here. We don't want that. That's really not nice on our joints. We love our joints. We want them for life. So nice and active through here. You'll feel it pull down through that hip flexor, stretching forward. Inhale in, using the blocks of your cans to make sure your chest is nice and strong and flat, nice and upright. Breath here. And on the exhale, pushing back, low lunge or runner's lunge to stretch back through the leg. Inhale, back to the front of the mat, stretching through that hip flexor, opening up the right hip. Exhale, back to runner's lunge, pulling back through. Thinking this position, not rounding through the back, think chin to shin. Nice and strong, chin to the front as if we were going to fold over the leg. Inhale, back to the front of the mat. One more round here, pulling through the chest. Exhale, pushing back, runner's lunge. Beautiful. Back to the front of the mat. Move the blocks out of the side. Planting through our hands. Step the right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Now, in our forward fold, thinking this is not about our hamstrings. I think that's one of the biggest myths we need to debunk here. I want you to bend really beautifully through those knees and just belly straight to thighs. And this is our relaxing position. The more you can get your belly onto your thighs, the more your lower back releases. So this is where we want to be. Nice and heavy. With the head, make some yes or no, shaking it out. Really relax here. Now, next inhale, halfway lift. Halfway lift, flat back. Uttanasana. Down to the ground, and on the inhale, rising up, tall mountain pose. Hands to heart center on the exhale, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Planting the hands, stepping the left foot back down the mat, dropping the knee to the ground, grabbing our blocks. Now, you would have found on your first round, you might have a preference for having your toes up like I have them now, or you might want to flatten the foot. Choose your own adventure. Now, inhale, stretching through, active again. I like to think to activate, pulling the knees back in. When we flail that leg out, it opens our body up, and that is where I'm hanging out in my joints. That's not nice. Pull it all back together, stretching through the left hip flexor with our blocks, making sure our chest is nice and strong. Exhale, pushing back, runner's lunge, stretching through that hamstring, chin to shin. Inhale, back through the front. Hi, Schmidt. How you doing, bud? Exhale, pushing through the leg. One more round here. Through to the hip flexor, opening that up. Oh, that feels Exhale, pushing back, runner's lunge. Inhale, back to the front of the mat, moving our blocks to the side, planting through the hands. Bring the left foot back to meet the right. Forward fold, belly to thigh. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up, tall mountain. Exhale, samastitihi, hands to heart center. You've got that now. We're going to do that both sides completely again. All on you with the breath. Ready. Inhale, rise, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Stepping right foot down the mat, knee to the ground. Dropping foot flat if that is your preference. Using the chest, open up through the hip. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, front of mat. Open the hip flexor. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, stepping back through to the front of the mat, right to left. Forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, samastitihi, hands to heart center. Other side now. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the left foot down the mat, opening the left hip flexor, grabbing the blocks or your cans. Inhale, pushing through that hip flexor. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, front of the mat. Exhale, push back. Inhale. Exhale. One more time now. Through, opening that hip flexor. Exhale, push back to runner's lunge. Through to the front, move blocks out of the way, planting the hands, left foot to right foot, meeting at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Hands to heart center. Samastitihi. Now, moving our cans a little out of the way. However, we're now going to go into our yogi squat. To do this, maybe you want a block at the ready to place under your bottom when you are trying to reach the ground. Up to you. If you're going to know what's feeling better when you're going into a squat. So, feet width of our mat. Rise arms up. Inhale up. Exhale through heart center, squatting into malasana. Beautiful. Supporting through the hips. This is not passive, not dropping in. Nice and active here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, malasana squat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, malasana squat. One more round. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, and here we hold for 5 breaths. Using your elbows to push the knees out. Core is active here. Two more rounds of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Really feeling those hips. And you're feeling the heat rise in the body now. This is what we want. On the end of the exhale, rising up. Inhale, tall mountain pose. Samastitihi, hands to heart center. Wiggling the feet back to hip width now. Arms rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Now, bending through the knees, planting our hands, straightening through the right leg as much as we can. You might want to block under the left hand, bring the ground to you. You'll know how you feel flexible today or how tight your legs are. With our right hand, twisting to the ceiling. straightening through that right leg as much as we can. Now here, I want you to open that shoulder out and up. And we're thinking rib cage to ceiling. Nice deep twist here. Whilst also opening through the hip, the hamstring, the knee. Particularly I feel it in my ITB that runs down the side here. Exhale, hand to ground. Switching to the other side, planting with our right hand, straightening the left leg, left hand to sky, opening the chest towards the ceiling, rolling that left shoulder back. Now, if your neck is uncomfortable here, feel free to look at the ground. It's up to you. Choose your own adventure, what's more comfortable for you. Exhale, hand to ground. 2 more rounds here with the breath. Right side, twisting to the ceiling. Exhale, hand to ground, left hand side. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hand to ground. 1 more round each side. Inhale, rise up on the right. Exhale to the ground. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to the ground. Deep forward fold here. Take a nice, relaxed, nice breath. Now inhale, rise up. On the exhale, stepping right foot as we scissor the hands, stepping right foot down the mat, warrior 2. Now with our warrior 2, we want our foot, if you can, have it in line with the back of your mat. Maybe that's not where your hip goes. So maybe you want to point those toes a little diagonal towards the front of the mat. Core on, butt tucked under. Nice and strong through here. This is super active right now. Deep bend through the knee. I want you to be able to see your big toe just in front of your knee. And that's when you're going to know you're pretty golden. Arms nice and strong, in line with the body. Looking our drishti, our gaze, our focal point over our fingers. Stretching through. Bending as much as we can through this left knee. We're going to feel this activating and warming up. We want to create fire here. That's where we get the releases. So nice through warrior 2. Reversing warrior. Now hand down the back of the leg. If you feel up to it, a bind around the leg as we reverse our warrior. Instead of dumping through that side, I want you to think up and over. It's more to the sky and back as we release through this side. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, stepping right foot to left. Tadasana, take a breath. We're going to feel the heat going through the legs now, opening up these hips. Beautifully done. Take a nice deep breath. Now, left, are we ready? Rise, arms up. As we split down the left, stepping the left foot down the mat. Warrior 2. Core on, hip tucked under. Can you see your big toe over that right knee? Make sure the knee is not trailing it. If it is, slightly push it out again. Nice strong arms. Inhale, reverse our warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Stepping through to the front of the mat, relaxing hands, Tadasana. We're going to heat this up a little bit now. Rise, arms up. Splitting, warrior 2. Right foot down our mat. Nice and strong here. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, pivoting on our right big toes, high lunge. Now again, we're opening up. We've already warmed this up now. We're going to be really opening up through here. On the inhale, dropping the knee. And rise. Drop the knee. Feel the heat rise in the body. Dropping the knee. Opening up. On the next inhale, stepping back to the front of our mat. And relax. Namaste. Beautiful work. Feeling that heat rise in the body now. Okie dokie. Inhale, hands rise up. Splitting, warrior 2. Stepping left foot down the mat. Remember where our knee is. Now, inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, high lunge, pivoting on our left big toes around. Nice and strong through this hip, active, no dumping into it. Nice and active here. On inhale, exhale, dropping that left knee, feeling that hip flexor open, rising up. 2 more. Rising up. Bending through the knee. Rising up. Stepping through, powering through that right foot to the top of the mat. Hands to heart center, NAMASTE. We'll do this with the breath now. We're going to get a little bit faster. Are we ready? Inhale, rise arms up. Step back, warrior 2. Reverse the warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, pivot, high lunge. Dropping our right knee. 1, 2, 3. Stepping to the front of the mat. NAMASTE here. Hands rise up. Inhale up. Picking up the pace now. Stepping left foot back. Warrior 2. Reversing the warrior. Nice deep stretch to the right hand side. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, rise arms up, pivoting on the left foot, high crescent lunge. Inhale, dropping the left knee, nice lunge here. Rise up, dropping the knee, rise up. 1 more now, dropping the knee. Rise up, stepping back through to the front of the mat. Beautiful work. Now we'll make our way down to the mat, feeling the warmth in the body. We're now going into our bound angle pose. So butterfly in the feet, feet together. Now, where are you going to be more comfortable? Maybe holding the feet, holding the ankles, wherever you're going to be more comfortable. Now, you want a little bit of space in front of you, so I'm just going to shuffle my tuki back on the mat. Now, we want to be creeping our hands out, so straightening through. Remembering what we had done earlier in our session, chin to shin. I want us to be rising arms up. Exhale, down to the ground, and just allowing the knees to just drop. And I just want us to relax here and creep the fingers out and just see where our legs want to go today. My hips are super tight, so just let your body relax here. Drop the head, and let's have a couple rounds of breath to relax into this position. Inhale in. Exhale out. 1 more round of breath. Inhale in. Exhale out. Now on the inhale, rise arms up. Exhale, we're turning to our right. Right hand goes behind us on the mat. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Rising up through the spine. On the exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, rise arms up, switching to the left. Left hand behind us, right hand to knee, twisting to the left. Inhale, rise arms up. Exhale, hands, and twist to the right. Inhale, rise arms up, twisting to the left. Inhale, rise arms up. Now this one, I want you to drop right hand to the ground, left hand to the outside of the knee. Inhale, rise up through the chest, through the spine. On the exhale, twisting through the ribs to the back of the room. Deep breath, inhale in. Shoulders twisting to the right hand side of the room. Inhale in 1 more time. Neck and head to the back of the room. And on your final inhale in, eyes, how far can you take your eyes to the back of the room? And here we stay for 3 breaths. Exhale. Final round of breath. And bring it back to center nice and slowly now. Now to the left. Inhale, rise arms up. Left hand behind, right hand to our left knee. Rising through the spine nice and straight. On the exhale, twisting the rib cage to the left. Inhale, rising up. Shoulders twisting to the left. Rising up nice and straight. Neck and head as far to the left. And 1 more breath. Eyes, how far can you take your eyes to the left? 3 rounds of breath. Here we stay. Finding the breath, making space through the ribs, and the new space you're creating in your body right now with this twist. 1 more round of breath. And on the next exhale, back to the center, straightening out through the legs. Bit of a shakeout now. If this is the time you want to take a quick second, have a quick mouthful of water. I know we've done a lot of work so far. Beautiful. Now, are we ready? Janusarasana. Right foot down inside the thigh, keeping the left foot long down the mat. Right foot inside the thigh. If you have knee conditions or it's not available to you, anything like that, feel free. Where does it feel better to have that foot inside that left thigh? Further down, just not against the knee, okay? We want to be really nice to this knee joint. So we're going to be doing a forward fold down our left leg to open this hamstring, but we're going to build this pose together. I want you to bend through the knee, belly to thigh, same as our forward fold. Hands around ankle, feet, thigh, wherever is available to you. It really doesn't matter. Now, inhale, exhale, slowly creep the heel out a little bit and just feel how far you can go. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pushing through the leg, how far you can go. You want to stop when the belly is leaving the thigh. How far can you go today? Rise up, bring the leg in. Exhale, out, and here we find our final position. Where can you go that your belly is still on your thigh? If it's up here, that is where your leg is at today. That is totally fine. That is exactly where you need to be. Find where it is for you. Now, thinking chin to shin to keep the chest nice and open over our left leg. Maybe you're holding onto the foot, pulling the toes back. Maybe you're holding the ankle, holding the thigh. Up to you. Where is most comfortable? Nice breath here, and then I want you to relax over the leg. And this is where we'll stay for 5 rounds of breath. Nice and deep, creating space. Maybe you'll feel the trembling through the back of the leg. The hamstring is a bit tight. Maybe you need to micro bend through the knee. Two more rounds of breath here. Final round, inhale. Exhale, coming back up. Taking this right knee, we're going to be opening up into revolved head to knee. So I want you to be opening the knee. So we had it at 90, open it up. Really nice and wide as you can go that's comfortable. Now, let's build this together. Left hand is going to go down the inside of the left calf. Right hand looking over our right knee. I don't want us to be slouching over like this. We want to be nice and straight when we're doing this, really protect our spine. So right hand behind us, looking towards the back of the room, rising right arm to the ceiling, chest still to the back of the room, and now we bend over the left leg. I like to get my left hand slightly under my calf to just give me a bit of extra leverage, or maybe you like to push against your leg. But what we're trying to do here is open the whole right side as we open the ribs to the ceiling. So I want you to think head, chest opening towards the ceiling here, not crunching over like that. I want you nice and open. Really deep breaths here. We'll do 3 rounds of breath to open through the side. Maybe you find a bit more space with every breath. One more round of breath here. Maybe if your neck is getting a bit sore, maybe look at the leg today, whatever is available to you. Coming back up, raising to the ceiling, hands to the mat, coming back, extending the right leg down the mat, give them a bit of a shake. It's always a nice deep one, that one. Are we ready for the left hand side? Now bringing our left foot in to meet the right leg extending down the mat, Janusarasana, forward fold over our extended right leg. Now remembering building it together, bending that knee in, belly to thigh, hands where it's most comfortable for you, wherever that is. Inhale in, rise up. Exhale, extending the leg. Inhale, rise up. Extending the leg. Bless you.
Thank you.
Inhale, rising up. Extending the leg. Remember, we stop when the belly is leaving the thigh. For me, my right leg is a little tighter than my left because, you know, that we're humans. That's what happens. So today I'm going to have a bit of a bend through this one, and the left I could go straight. You never know. It's an adventure. The body changes every day. Now, depending where you want, maybe you're just completely passive, body weight over that leg, or maybe you're holding the foot, ankle, thigh, calf, up to you. Now we're thinking chin to shin, and now let's relax as we stretch the length over the leg and relax here for 5 rounds of breath. Maybe you'll feel the trembling through the hamstring, knowing that it's warming up and releasing. Two more rounds of breath here. How much more space can you get in the back of that thigh, all down the back of the quad, through the back of the knee, calf, maybe even the toes if you're massaging them back. Inhale, rise up back to center. Revolved chest. Opening through that left knee, make sure it's pointing out to the side. Right hand, remember, find where the best position for you is. Maybe it's down the inside of the leg. Left hand, back of the mat, nice and strong through there, pushing through that hand. Inhale, rise left hand to the sky as we twist our chest towards the back of the room and then bend over the right leg. Chest to the ceiling, revolved to the ceiling. Stretching through that arm nice and strong to make even more space through that left hand side. Nice deep breaths here. Maybe the neck needs to relax. Maybe look at your knee instead of looking at the ceiling. Nice inhale, as much space as you can find through that side. One more round of breath. Exhale back to the middle, straightening out both of the legs, giving them a bit of a shake. Now, pushing through our hands, crossing the knees, we're going to come over, pushing through the hands into a plank momentarily. Core on. I want us to specifically come to plank, core on here. Now, right knee to chest. I want you to then take the right foot out to the left palm as we place the knee down into pigeon on the right. Now, crawling this left foot back down the mat, putting our hands just in front of our knees, pushing through our hands, straightening through the chest so that you're nice and straight down your mat. Here, on the exhale, think chin to shin, elongating through, chin to floor, shin's back there. Now we're going to be stretching down the mat like a wave. Thinking nice and long. Maybe that's where you stay. Maybe it's here. Maybe you're super flexing. This is where you like to go. Up to you. Here we're going to stay for 10 rounds of breath. Opening through that right hip, through the buttocks, lower back. Now, many people will tell you that you need to have your foot parallel with the mat. That is completely incorrect. It's wherever your foot feels most comfortable. Everyone's hips are built differently. So if your foot is pretty much tucked in like a bird's wing into your leg, that is perfectly fine. As long as you're feeling the stretch through that right hip, you're golden. Deep breaths. How much more can you release? Maybe you crawl that left leg further down the mat to create some more space. Deep belly breaths here. Tell the body with your breath that you are safe and you can release. One more round of breath. On the exhale, pushing through the hands, rising up. Gently fall into that right hip, bringing legs back around to the front. And I want us to feet in front and just windshield wiper the knees. Bit of a relax here. We're really going to start slowing it down now. Oh, beautiful, releasing through that hip. Now, same again, crossing the legs, planting through the hands, stepping back into a plank. I want us nice and strong, lifting through the left knee, placing the right foot in line with the right hand, left knee to left wrist as we crawl our right leg further down the mat with our toes, pushing through our hands, nice and strong, not duck butting out the back, nice and strong through the hands, and like a wave, chin to ground, lengthening through the spine as we come down to the mat. Wherever we are, here, you might want to, maybe you want a block under your head. Maybe that's more comfortable today. Where's more comfortable for you? Make a little pillow with your hands. That's what I like. And here we relax for 10 deep, slow rounds of breath. With our breath, we tell our body, the slower and deeper it gets, we tell our body we are safe, we are soft. You can release. How much more can you drop your right hip towards your left foot? Squaring off of the hips and really dropping in. Maybe you want to crawl that right foot further down the mat now that you've got more space. Maybe you take the arms out long down the mat. Deep belly breaths. Two more rounds of breath here. One more round. Exhale, pushing through the hands, coming back up onto that left hip, legs out straight down the mat. Give them a bit of a shake or a windscreen wiper. Depends what your hips are feeling like. I remember you didn't really like your windscreen wiper the other week. Yeah, it doesn't work for Jen's hips. Just not her thing. So shake out the legs if that's you. Preparing for double pigeon, my personal favorite pose. So right leg bent in, and I want you to make a nice angle there. So I want that shin as straight with the front of your mat as you can get it. Now, let's see where you can go with this. Remember, choose your own adventure. Don't force anything that's uncomfortable in your body. Maybe today that left foot wants to go there. Ideally, if we can, our left foot is coming up onto the right thigh with a nice flexed foot. Dorsiflexing that foot. Left foot onto right thigh. You're going to be amazed at where your body is going to go in this pose. Now, totally fine. If your leg is here, you're going to get plenty out of it. Do not stress, okay? But if you're with me, I find to get my positioning right, I push through my hands, lift my butt, and give myself a little bit more space. Now, this one, we control with the breath. With every breath, we go further. This is a very intense pose. Listen to your body, but remember, after about 10 breaths, you're going to start getting some releases that you didn't even think were possible. So pushing through the hands, rise up, nice inhale in. Exhale, stretching chin to mat as we lengthen over that leg. And now choose your breaths here to be nice and deep as much as you can. You might have to manually override a bit of a stress response because it can be pretty painful at first. Now, very long, deep, 10 rounds of breath in your own time. I like to push through the hands first to keep myself nice and active through this pose until my body tells me that I can passively hang over this leg. We want to slowly be dropping the left knee towards the ground. That could happen more and more over time. I find the more you do this, the faster it comes. This one we could probably do every day for the rest of our life and still start super high and come down super low. But this is an amazing pose for opening that hip, thigh, hamstring, and lower back. If you've ever had deadlift day, squat day, been for a really big run and you've got those legs where you can barely touch the ground or barely walk, do this pose. Now, the more you relax into it, I like to take my hands and place them on my legs, and I quietly say to myself, I surrender. Can you surrender to this pose? With our breath, the deeper and longer we can make it, we tell our body we are safe. We can release. Thank you, body, for everything that you do. Thank you, left hip. Can you tell your leg it's okay to go further? Two more rounds of breath here. How much further can you allow your body to release? One more round of breath. Exhale, rise up very slowly. It's a biggie. Now slowly help your leg back to the ground. Very slowly extending the legs down the mat. Give them a very gentle shake out. Oh, beautiful. Now you might want to bring the knees into chest and give yourself a little bit of a snug here as we then prepare for the other side. Prepare this from the ground up. So remember, shin in line with the top of the mat. Right leg, ideally we're placing our right foot with a dorsiflex, nice and flat. Think in an L shape with this top leg. Want that nice and long. I always think my foot needs to be in the direction exactly down the femur bone of my thigh. Yes, femur, thigh, yeah. Look at that with me, all my anatomy. Now, pushing through the hands, lifting the butt, finding the best position for you, dorsiflexing through both feet. One side is going to be different from the other. Let's see where our body takes us on this one. Inhale, pushing through the hands to rise up through the chest, just slightly. Exhale, how far can we go? Think chin to mat. I want us to elongate the spine as we slowly release over that front leg. Hands, pushing through the hands to activate and support ourselves. We don't just want to drop into this one. It's a doozy. So we really want to support ourselves. Push through the hands. And now you're going to, in your own time, at least 10 deep, long, slow rounds of breath. Palms up to surrender to the energy around you. Maybe you can get the forearms to the ground. Maybe that's available. If it's not, totally fine. Keep pushing back through those hands. Or maybe palms onto the thigh and the foot as we surrender over the legs. Now, make sure that you're try and keep the right buttocks on the ground as much as we can. We don't want this hip too high, but sometimes it's just not available. So if it's not the end of the world as we relax over that leg. With every breath, we release more. Thank you, body. I surrender. Thank you, right hip. I surrender. Keep adjusting as you need. As the thoughts creep in and maybe the pain is kicking in, tell your body it is okay. Pain is a natural signal that our body tells us so that it can keep us safe. Our body is always trying to protect us. It is our responsibility to tell our body we are safe. Thank you. You can release. You can drop your weapons, which is its pain. You can drop those to the ground. Our body can surrender. You can relax. You don't need to protect me right now. Everything is okay. Two more deep rounds of breath here. And exhale. How much further can you release that right knee towards your left foot? Pushing through the hands, rising up very gently, taking that right foot off the left thigh, slowly extending the legs down the mat. Give them a very gentle shake out, nice and slow. Maybe, if you're not Jim, you want to windscreen wipe the legs very gently. We've just really released all the sides of the hips. That was a deep one. It's a doozy.
Yeah, well, it does work for me.
Yeah, now it works for you?
No, windscreen wipe
doesn't. So butterfly does?
Yeah.
Maybe butterfly. I think they're our oysters and Pilates. Okie dokie, legs out nice and long, preparing for our most important pose of all of our poses, which is our Shavasana. However, to prepare for that, let's firstly go into bring the knees to your chest, give your knees a nice big cuddle. I just want you to gently rock side to side. Nice little relax, massage the lower back into the mat. Feel the hip flexors are now a very different sensation from when we began. They're active, they're open, they're working with our body right now. Now, feet to the sky. If you can, we're going into our happy baby here. If you can, grabbing the outside of the feet with our arms to the outside of the knees. If that's not available to you, maybe hands just simply behind the knees, and maybe you can clasp your knees down there. Maybe you're just holding the back of the thigh. Here, I want you to think lower back to the mat, activating through the core. And then if your hands are on your legs, wherever they are, feet, knees, thighs, pulling those knees towards your armpits as you keep your lower back on the ground. So think with the core and the butt, tilt towards the ground as we pull those knees into the shoulders. And then if you like, a gentle rock side to side, happy baby. Now as we prepare for Shavasana, Whatever your body needs to do now, maybe that's a bit of a plow, maybe it's waterfall, maybe you could put a block under the hips and do a nice supported waterfall. Maybe we're going into halasana, a plow. Whatever your body needs to do to prepare for Shavasana, do that now.
Even if I'm using the kitchen bench?
Even if you're using the kitchen bench. Now, if you're in a plow, think toes to ground, nice and supported, and always pushing through the shoulders, not crunching onto the neck. Be nice. Only do what you feel comfortable. I like to do a nice ear pressure pose. Back to plow. Tucking knees to chest. And I love to just roll down the mat. That's my fave. Absolute fave. Now, nice and long down the mat. Left knee into chest. Cuddle with the right hand. Left wing out along the ground as we twist the right knee over the body. Inhale back to center. Left leg down the mat, right knee into chest, cuddling with the left arm, right wing out. Taking that across the body for a nice big twist. Here we want to aim to keep that shoulder on the ground. If we can, if it's available to you, as we twist through the body. Maybe you just want to shuffle the buttocks back so you have a nice straight line through the body. Inhale back to center, legs down the mat as we prepare for Shavasana. Shavasana is the most important pose out of all of our poses. And it's not just a nap, it's not lying down, it's not just we're done now. Shavasana is extremely important. Shavasana is where our body integrates all of the learnings from our session today. We've just told our body a lot of information. Sensory, auditory, visual, anatomical. We've given our body a lot of information. We've told our body it's okay to release and open, and we've physically maneuvered that. This is where our body can take that information in, digest. Now I want you to think wrapping shoulders under the body so you have a nice open chest, palms open to the sky as we relax our body, heavy through the hips, feet wider than you generally think you need them to keep as much support through the body. If the feet are a bit too close together, you aren't actually as balanced as you need to be, because we're going to stay here now for as long as you need, 10 minutes, however, for as long as you need. I'm going to say goodbye now. And I wish you all the best in your practice. Have a beautiful evening or day wherever you are right now. Stay safe. I see the divine in you. You beautiful, beautiful yogi spirit. Namaste.